Hello everyone! In this video, I will talk about chess, a venerable game I also enjoy playing, whose history stretches back nearly 1,500 years. I'll tell you how it came into being, how it evolved, and what its status is today. Let us bear witness together to the story of this game, known as the Game of Emperors, written about in hundreds of books and rising alongside human civilization itself. There are various accounts about the origin of chess. According to the most widespread narrative, chess appeared in India in the 7th century CE. Its origin story is quite striking. At that time in India, there was a powerful king who loved warfare and games. Tired of constant battles, his people urged him to find a solution. A wise man named Bilge offered a remedy. He would present the king with a new game that could simulate war contests. One day, he came before the king carrying a box and said, "My king, behold, I bring you a game called Chaturanga. Within this box are various shaped pieces, your infantry, your cavalry, your elephants, and your chariots, and you will also have a king and a vizier. You shall place these on this board and play them as you would conduct war." This was based on the Indian Army's fourfold structure at that time: elephants, horsemen, war chariots, and foot soldiers. The king loved the game so much that he told the wise man, "Ask whatever you like, and I will grant it." The wise man humbly requested from the king that he be given wheat grains for each square on the chessboard, such that each square would hold double the number of the previous square. 1 grain on the first square, 2 on the second, 4 on the third, and so on. The king, thinking the request trivial, said, "Very well, but do your calculation. I will not give more than 1 extra grain." That calculation results in what is known today as the wheat and chessboard problem. The number is so enormous that not just the king's kingdom, but the whole world could never supply enough wheat. According to that account, the total number of grains requested is over 18 quintillion, which in terms of weight would exceed 1,840 billion tons. Why didn't the king realize? Not simply because he was foolish, but because the phenomenon is rooted in what mathematics calls exponential growth. Actually, in many areas of life, there are 2 main types of growth: logarithmic growth and exponential growth. In logarithmic growth, curves rise quickly at first, then slow down over time. Progress becomes harder. Everyday examples might be losing weight. Initial kilos drop quickly, later progress slows. Or a beginner guitarist learning the first skills rapidly, but struggling for small improvements later. In exponential growth, on the other hand, curves start slowly but accelerate, and over time gains become easier. The trick is that growth begins from such a tiny base, a single grain of wheat, that one might doubt how much it could scale, yet in just 64 squares, it soars to astronomical levels. Whether or not the story actually happened is uncertain. What matters more for us is the moral. But it is true that the game Chaturanga originated in India and spread onwards to Persia, then to the Arabs, and from there through Spain into Europe. While there are differing legends, the earliest known forms of chess date to about 570 CE. According to popular legend, a warlike strategy game similar to chess was born in India nearly 1,500 years ago and gradually mutated in form as it made its way from southern Central Asia through Persia and the Middle East, ultimately reaching the Iberian Peninsula. In the Shahnameh by Ferdowsi, chess is regarded not only as a game, but as a method of strategizing warfare, and its Sanskrit name, Chaturanga, is preserved there. Indeed, the figures and moves in chess echo the warfare rules of the ancient Indian army. After lengthy wars, the Persians adopted the game, which then passed to the Arabs near the end of the 7th or beginning of the 8th century. As the Abbasid Caliphate lost influence, chess's center of gravity shifted to Syria, Anatolia, and Egypt, and the game also spread among the Mongols. In later centuries, chess traveled into Europe via Al-Andalus, Muslim Spain. The modern form of chess crystallized in the 14th century in the Mediterranean region. From then on, chess became an intellectual model of psychological warfare, a European cultural institution. When chess arrived in Europe in the 11th century, nobles, royalty, and knights adopted it swiftly. Yet the associations with gambling and mischief led some church leaders and powerful figures to attempt banning it. In 1061, a cardinal addressed the Pope in a letter condemning the game as a shameful vice of life and forbade clergy from playing it. Later, in 1254, King Louis IX, acclaimed as the only French king sanctified by the Church, attempted to ban the game across France, though the game's popularity carried on. Throughout the Middle Ages, chess pieces reflected European society: the king, queen, initially weak, bishop, later bishop as an elephant, rook, knight, and pawn. In the 15th century, the queen, vizier, underwent a transformation, taking on more power, no longer moving only 2 squares diagonally, but able to move any number of squares in any straight or diagonal direction. Some attribute this to strong queens, such as Isabella of Castile or Mary of Scotland. Rules and tempo changes were adapted to speed up play. This gave bishops and queens more power. An 1831 engraving in London by Benjamin Franklin and Lady Caroline Howe shows them playing chess. Franklin was a passionate chess player and wrote an essay, The Morals of Chess, in 1786, asserting the game promotes social and intellectual virtues. The rules of chess remained largely informal and varied for over a century, until the founding of the International Chess Federation, FIDE, in Paris in 1924, which began to standardize play. Historians believe that Chaturanga was carried into Persia and beyond by Buddhist monks fleeing religious persecution. In China, Chinese chess, xiangqi, appeared toward the end of the 8th century, and a Japanese variation, shogi, followed. Through Arabic and European manuscripts, the new rules were disseminated. The first printed chess book in Europe appeared in early modern Spain. After Spain, chess spread rapidly through Italy, France, Germany, the US, and Russia. In 1886, the first official World Championship match was held between Wilhelm Steinitz and Johannes Zukertort. Steinitz emerged as the first recognized world champion in some accounts. Today's chess rules remain largely the same. In 1924, FIDE was established to regulate the game. Although often labeled simply a game, chess is deeply complex and profound. Over the course of its 1,500-plus-year history, it has been defined many ways by masters and theorists. For example, former world champion and mathematician Emanuel Lasker described chess as a psychological battle between two minds. Blaise Pascal likened the chessboard to a gymnasium for the human mind. Alexander Alain, another world champion, said chess is an art. Despite their differing focuses, all of these views agree on one thing: chess combines sport, science, and art in an intellectual pursuit. Throughout history, Turks have played a key role in the development and spread of chess. Though in recent times their presence in quantity and prominence seems smaller, Turkish historic sources point to major contributions. In Murray's 1913 History of Chess, more than 500 positions from Arabic and Persian manuscripts, some as early as the 12th century, are described. Around the 9th century, many of the strongest masters came from Turkey, Iran, and Arab lands. Among them, a Turkish historian named Salih is said to have defeated all rivals in a world championship-like event, becoming the first world chess champion in some accounts. The generally accepted first world champion, however, is Wilhelm Steinitz. Salih, in some sources, is credited with establishing early systematic chess play. He introduced the idea of forming a plan appropriate to the features of a position, which is foundational in today's chess strategy. At the end of the 19th and start of the 20th century, 4 great chess masters emerged: Wilhelm Steinitz, Emanuel Lasker, José Raúl Capablanca, and Alexander Alekhine. The legendary Garry Kasparov, world champion between 1985 and 1993, cited these as his role models. In 1996 and May 1997, a machine developed by IBM called Deep Blue defeated Garry Kasparov, the first time a computer beat a reigning world champion in over-the-board play.
Chess brings many benefits to players: logical reasoning, intelligence, self-confidence, analytical and synthetic thinking, creativity, composure, willpower, memory, and logical thought are all strengthened by it. Chess is often regarded as a miniature life simulation. What happens before, during, and after the game is always instructive. To see chess merely as a game is a disservice. As many great masters have said, chess is sport, science, and art. To close this video, I'd like to recommend one of the best mini-series I've watched recently called Quiz Game, which tells the story of a 9-year-old girl named Batum Moon, or Batu Moon, who begins playing chess at a young age. Although the show consists of 7 episodes, it's compelling even if you're not already passionate about chess. Also, while it's not strictly about chess, the film Revolver includes important chess elements in its narrative. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Take care. With love, Real Perception.